Hello, what is happening, world? So, wow, that music's super loud. Where's my thing? Let me know if the music's loud for you as well. There might be some music audio coming in. Maybe not on this screen actually when I flip scenes. Anyway, so I thought I'd put on a live stream and see what's happening around this NCC ScoutSuite product because it's something that I've played around with, like in terms of, I say play around with, I've looked at and I've read about, and it's something that I've checked out, but it isn't something that I've actually used before. So I went to a talk at, where was the talk? It was at, probably it was either at B-Sides or 44Con in London last year. And one of the main contributors and creators of the ScoutSuite product gave a talk, and I watched it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I wonder how good it is for Azure, given that I work for Microsoft. And I've been meaning to play around with it since, but I just haven't had the chance to. So I thought, kicking off this kind of live stream, CloudSec TV, what we're all about is just getting open source security tools basically and reviewing them and seeing if I can get them to work. So hopefully those of you that are watching in chat can help me out if I get stuck. I'm not sure if this is going to work well, but I thought I'd go ahead and see if I could get ScoutSuite set up in my account. So let me know. So feel free to comment and message in the chat if there's anything you want me to check out or any other topics for you to use. So for this, we just crack on and just start playing around with ScoutSuite and see what's happening. So where are we? All right, let's see what's going on. So this is NCC. Bear with me a second. There you go. Yeah, this is NCC's ScoutSuite, right? So basically, it describes as a multi-cloud security auditing tool. So I just pulled it up on GitHub here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And it says that you can kind of just run security checks against your account. So ScoutSuite is an open source multi-cloud security auditing tool. Right, I actually tweeted NCC this morning, and they said that they've got a commercial tool as well, which they sent me the link to. So if you want a commercial version of this as a SaaS product, you can, but it is about £1,800, I think it was, per year for 4 accounts. It may have been £1,800 per month for per account or something like that. It was quite expensive, but I guess if you're an enterprise, then you can do full security coverage of your cloud accounts, be that AWS, Azure, Google, or whatever, and especially multi-cloud. That probably is a good investment. So let's have a look at what it does. So I haven't used this product before, by the way. I'm just playing around and checking it out and seeing how it works. So it says here that it supports AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, and Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So it looks like we've got pretty good coverage there. Obviously, the one that I'm particularly interested in is Microsoft Azure, and see what kind of coverage they've got there. So let's keep going through this. So it's run through the CLI. So you do Scout, AWS, this example, -- profile, Bask. Oh, that must be the profile name. -F, whatever that means. We can work all that out when we play around with it. Alright, cool. So it looks like it does something. And then once it's completed, it will generate a HTML report including findings and cloud account configuration. Oh nice, so we should get like an output for a HTML report so we can go and look at all the findings. Alright, so this looks pretty straightforward. We've got a while on the stream, so we'll see how we get on in terms of things going on. Right, let's open up the wiki. That sounds like a good place to start. Oh, this above report was generated. Blame me, let's leave my Wi-Fi. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. Right, here we go. Let's open that in a new tab. Right, computer's gone on the go slow. Bear with me, folks. There we go. In the meantime, I'm going to go to the wiki as well. Putting on. Let me have the music in chat. Alright, so SAD Cloud. Spin up essentially insecure artifacts for AWS infrastructure, Terraform, initial set of findings are mapped to ScoutSuite. It's quite cool. So you could well up the SAD Cloud, other than a vulnerable security thing, a vulnerable infrastructure in AWS, so you can go and run a Scout against it, which is pretty cool. I wish I had that to play around with in Azure. We don't have that. Maybe I could put in a pull request there to create some SAD Azure idea of that. Just reach out. Both window. It's doing really well, folks. Right, so here we are. We're going to go to the wiki this time. It's the computer. We want the wiki. The wiki is what we need to do, basically. Usage. Right, we saw this, didn't we? Scout. Then we saw the provider thing in the GIF. AWS. Yeah. Got that. Alright, use the CLI for credentials. Right, let's have a look at setup. That's the first thing we need to do, is get things set up. Busy in here. We're going to get busy in here. I'm confident. See how we're around. Alright, so it tells us that we've got some requirements. It's written in Python, so we're going to need Python 3.5. Cool, I've got a way to do that. How to install it? We can install via pip in a virtual env. Yeah, this will make sense. We're going to Python VM, right? Then we're going to activate the virtual environment, and then we are going to install ScoutSuite. Sweet. This looks like it's going to be pretty quick. So, all right, let's go for it. So what I'm actually using is I started using like Visual Studio Code a long time ago, but I've started basically doing all of I've moved over from to Windows from Mac, and it's good. It's quite cool. You've got the local development environment with the Windows subsystem for Linux. Version 2 actually seems pretty good. I've used the Ubuntu on it. I've used the Kali Linux version of it. Obviously it's headless. You've just got the command line, but it's pretty useful. But what I've actually found is like Visual Studio Online. I don't know if people know what that is, but Visual Studio Online is a tool that enables you to basically run an environment, a cloud-based development environment. It runs it's based on a Docker image. You can either use the one that's standard out of the box, or you can define your own like dev container.json. And what it gives you is like a remote instance, a development environment, and you can actually do Visual Studio code in the browser as well. So yeah, so you can do Visual Studio Code in the browser with Visual Studio Online. But what you can also do is you can just use normal Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm here. I'm on the Insiders version, which anybody can get hold of. And then we've got, and then in the bottom left here, you can just click, like, as long as you're connected to your Azure account, you click Open Remote Window. So I can like log into one of my Windows subset of Linux ones here, but I actually want to connect to an environment that's running in Azure, or an online environment. So if I click on that, I've got a few here. I've one specifically for Python here that I've used. So I'm going to go to that. And then what this does is it just goes and starts that environment, connects to it, and then I'm developing locally on my machine like I normally would, but it's all running on a container in the cloud, which is pretty nice. I'm just using the out-of-the-box container here for Python. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, continuity there in the chat. Yeah, WSL is great, especially when you can add CentOS to it. Yeah, there's a bunch of different distros which are available. I've played around with them a bit. I'm relatively new to it, given that I only moved to Windows like a month ago or something, from being a Mac user for about 6 years, so it takes a little while. Alright, how are we getting on here connecting to this environment? What happened there? Let's just do that again. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun. Good seems to be. Let's just reopen the window. Why not? Let's just reopen the window. We might end up having to use USL. Yeah, the Office apps. Also, I found things like this camera that I've got when I'm streaming. I don't want to waste my time talking about streaming setups. It was very hard to configure the camera settings on Mac, and when I started looking into a bunch of streaming stuff, it all seemed to be geared around Windows, given the fact that the gaming community is so big. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying Windows. It's alright. Could do with a nice beefy encoder or something. So I think that's why we're running slow at the moment. But we'll get there. This is definitely my machine that's dying. Give us stuff. Just give me some seed. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Right, let's just close this down. So I've just got a new. Let's do it this way. On my screen, just launching a new window of VS Code. On VS Code. We can keep waiting. Certainly the streaming, I've been using this all morning with no problems, as you would imagine. As soon as you go streaming, this is what happens. Yeah, I've been playing around with OBS settings. They're like the pain in my life. I think the bandwidth is okay. I think it's the fact that my CPU is getting overloaded here. So it's giving me a bunch of joy. Oh, we can try this a different way. Ah, looks like it's clear. Alright, so we're back in VS Code. Cross our fingers now. Oh, we've got to wait for it to authenticate to my Azure account now. I'm opening new issues. I've been all done now. Love it. Everything's breaking now. So I'm trying to see if I can do this in WSL. It's typing really fast, but it's coming up really slow on my screen, which normally means it's on. Watch WSL open. Lose my mic. Alright, I should be back on the mic. Sorry, I was just getting rid of some software that I was using that was probably killing my machine. Oh wow, that's interesting. If I put that and it's just literally like come to life. Let's see. Wow, if this works, that would be still a little bit slow. Hey Brian, how's it going? See you, man. The having fun with my CPU, man, is like it's so slow. I wonder what's causing the issue. This is VS Code dying on me. All right, I've got Ubuntu here. We can use this one instead. All right. So what were we doing? We were doing like Python 3. Let's cancel that. Let's just look at where I am first. Alright. Let's make a directory called Scout. That's what we're going to be reviewing today. Alright, sweet. So where were those instructions again? I'll do this magic thing here. Alright, so we want Python minus n. We should do that with Python 3 actually. Oh. Need to install something first. Alright, sweet. So there we are. Yes, we're going to continue. So I'm going to install the version variant. Oh, this is one of it. Right, let's go back to this. Environment. Alright, so I was doing some stuff here yesterday around device code flow in Python and building CLI tools for Azure in Python. So that's what you can see here in this Python environment. That's cool. It's a race between it's a race between the Visual Studio Code and the Windows terminal, but I've got to update all the Ubuntu packages there, so we'll see if that works. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what you want to do when you're streaming, yeah? Just download some more packages to kill your bandwidth. That's exactly what man needs right now. Alright, so let's go back and see what's like. Let's have that happen in the background. We'll see what's happening in ScoutSuite. So we can install it. Blah, 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 blah. Right, let's do that first, and then let's look at what the wiki tells us about Azure. Here we go. Now I'm getting GitHub errors. This is all working great for me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I don't actually know what I've got in my Azure subscription that we're going to be testing, so I guess it would be good to know what is living in that subscription for us to run some security tests against, right? Because we're going to run security tests, we want to know what services we're testing and what kind of stuff we expect to find. I don't have the benefit of Stack Cloud that we found out about, so I'm going to probably just see what happens with the see what I've got available, and hopefully I've misconfigured something. This is actually like a Visual Studio subscription, so like $100 per month allowance, so I just chuck stuff in there that is kind of personal stuff that doesn't really matter. So let's have a look at what I've got in there. So like storage accounts, there must be some storage accounts. So I've got loads of credit remaining, I'm probably using hardly anything in here. Terminal just isn't loading, is it? I didn't think about doing the cloud. Right, this is just literally just playing with me. Here we go. So what have I got here? Oh, when I did my Cloud Guru courses, right? So we've got some Alexa stuff from my personal website. Serverless blog. Oh, my blog's in here. Nice. My serverless courses on Cloud Guru and my intro to course. So there'll be some public stuff here, no doubt. Static website assets hidden in here, so it might flag on things like that. What else have we got in here? Oh, one way to look is this. Look at the subscriptions, and we can look at the billing and see what resources are being used. So that's quite a good idea to get a good idea of what resource groups are using the most stuff. So let's just load up. Are we taking this long to download 44.9 meg? Wow. Love it. Alright, cool, so we're going to pick this subscription here that I've got. And then we're going to go to cost management, cost analysis. So we spend £27 in that one. Oh, I clicked too quick. I'm one of these people that just clicks around the whole time. So we never know what happens there. Right, here we go. So we're loading up the costs just to see what we've got. So we're going to run some security tests against my Azure subscription, but we don't know what's in it, so we're going to find out what's in it before we go and run some security tests against it. And I'm also trying to, in the background, if anybody's just joined, I'm trying to install ScoutSuite. But it's not a problem with ScoutSuite, it's with my Python environment, and my whole computer is dying because I'm streaming right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to quit VS Code altogether. I wonder whether that's like draining my thing. Alright, so... Ah, cool, so we're spending £27 on Cosmos DB, £10 on storage by the looks of things. Alright. That's interesting. Resource group. I've got one called Win10 PC, which is using £10, 17 of my £10 storage, I assume? Interesting. But it looks like we're running like Cosmos DB and storage in here. So that gives us a good idea of what we're actually running. As we saw some storage accounts, what have we got running? Cosmos. So Cosmos DB is a NoSQL database. I'm probably running some stuff in there. Let's have a look. Well, I was just running a bunch of stuff, trying to install. Here we go. So we want to run a Python. Just create that virtual environment. Alright, so we should be able to do source. Sweet. Do pip install. Oh, if I could spell. Let's just sudo that in case it does not like me. Is it pip free? Don't sudo pip. Don't do what you're doing. Let's do it. It'll be. What's going on here? Let's just do this. I'm hoping pip free is installed and pip isn't. That'd be weird. It should be pip once I'm in the virtual environment. It's Python 3. Alright, so we're downloading files. It looks like it's... Let's see what it's downloading. Oh, so it's ADAL. Aliyun, is that Ali Cloud? Python SDK? Is that an Ali Cloud thing? Yeah, so the funny thing about the VM is that like I've always like dabbled in Python, but I haven't done a bunch of coding in Python. And like I was having a nightmare yesterday. I was doing something else in Python. I was having a nightmare with pip and dependencies, and it wasn't looking for the pip packages where I was installing the pip packages. It was a nightmare. So I was speaking to Tanya Allard, who works on our team, and she's like a Python whiz, and she was like, just do everything in a virtual environment. I was like, yeah, I always used to do that, but I forgot the commands to set it up and activate it and all that stuff. So she gave me this like quick cheat sheet. She was also telling me to do like run all your commands with Python-M as well. She was telling me, so a few little tips she was giving me about that. All right, cool. So I've got an A Cloud Guru, something that I obviously did for A Cloud Guru there that we can maybe test. I'm not actually sure if ScoutSuite uses tests Cosmos DB or not. I'm not sure if it's supported. I guess we're going to find out. So this is installing all the Azure management stuff. What's it, Ali stuff? Right, so these are all the Azure SDKs that it needs. Boto, that's AWS, right? Boto Core. So interestingly, if I just wanted to use ScoutSuite for... yeah, sorry, I'm just interrupted by looking at a comment. Otherwise, you don't know dependency hell. Yes, that's exactly what I was in. It's dependency hell yesterday. It was driving me crazy. So these virtual EMs are saving my life right now. Now I've got my head around how to use them, but I need to just consistently develop in Python so I can keep on top of it. Right now, what's interesting to me here is that like even if I wanted to just use ScoutSuite for Azure, I still have to download and install the Google, the AWS dependencies by looks of things. I guess that kind of makes sense. But I guess it makes it a little bit more bloated than it needs to be. Alright, so we're just installing a bunch of stuff for ScoutSuite on my super fast internet that I've got here. Let's see if GitHub is liking me now. Can I actually load GitHub? Alright. Ta-da! Alright, so there are a number of ways to run ScoutSuite against an Azure tenant, right? Supported methods. The Azure CLI. Most systems you can install the Azure CLI using pip install Azure CLI. Log into an account. The easiest way to do it is, yeah, I've done this a million times. So this is a device code flow. Exactly what I was saying. I was just working on in VS Code yesterday. I'm trying to build my own command line starter for building command line tools in Python for Azure. So yeah, AZ login uses exactly that flow. So it gives you the code. Yeah, got that. Also, you just pass a CLI flag. Give it user credentials, the browser thing. Also, it does the device code flow thing natively itself. Nice. You could do a service principal. I guess this is better if you're using it in like a CI/CD environment where you want to pass in a service principal. You give it a credentials file, and again, that might work. Oh, and MSI as well. So if you're running your build process on a service that supports managed identity, then you can just have Scout leverage the underlying identity that instance has. That is pretty cool. I like that. And then if using MFA, there's probably a bunch of other stuff. Yep, AZ login or the browser login with the device code is the way to do that. Sweet. It's going to need a bunch of permissions. It needs reader role over a subscription, and then it's going to want some kind of reader role of the Graph API for Active Directory stuff. Okay. It will query the subscriptions which the provider's credentials have access to, and use the first one in the list. Alright, cool. Alright, if you're using a service principal, then obviously it tests the service principal because you're giving it the tenant ID, etc. I mean, you can pass in just like a list of subscriptions, or all subscriptions, which will do all subscriptions. That's going to take forever. We don't want to do that. And we just want to do one specific one. So I guess we can just do that with the command line, like an AZ account set, and then we should be good. Alright, sweet. So just open up another tab here. I did have Ubuntu in this list here as like one of my WSL things, but when I just loaded this when my computer was in the absolute hell, and I'm not brave enough to close it and reload it again, it said it was unable to load my profile or something, I think because my computer was dying basically. So unfortunately I'm going to go into PowerShell and just type Ubuntu in here. I'm just going to go and get the AZ stuff set up, make sure that I've got AZ. Just check that I'm actually logged into my Azure account within this instance. Alright, cool. Very punctual with a capital T there, not even sure if that'll work. Oh, it does. So this is what I'm doing here is I'm using the Azure CLI to just set my Azure account to my Visual Studio Test one, which I should have just grepped it, but I didn't. This one. Oh, it's there. Just that's Esh, I think. And we should be able to just see that we're using that one. All right, cool. So now we're using, you see there, Visual Studio Enterprise. Sweet. What's going on here? Something's failing. This doesn't look good. Struggling with some alien stuff, some alley cloud stuff. Let's see what the actual, it hasn't completely bathed yet, so let's see what actually happens. Alright. Everything's failing. Running setup look fine to me. I'm no Python expert. Like bdist will, I thought was something to do with like Python, like the way you package files, right? I like the GCC, like the like libSSL and all that kind of stuff. I don't know actually. Like I say, I've had this machine a month. I set up the Ubuntu thing. I've used the Kali one. I haven't used this a bunch because I've been moving over to the Visual Studio Online thing and doing all my dev there. So that's a good question. I don't know if I've actually installed all that, all them kind of base like Linux build tools that you would normally have. I normally do that when I hit an error like this. I have to do it. I'm going to let this run out and see what happens anyway. Alright, so let's just keep that running in the background, see how that takes. And then, so let's just get back over to this. So the Azure thing, so we've read all that. It doesn't really tell us much about what it does, like what's supported. Can we find like the rule sets or something? What do we got here? Advanced usage. Actually, I wonder if it's like let's just install install. Let's just look at the actual code. I'm sure in there we'll be able to see the kind of rules and stuff that it uses to check against. It'd be good to have like a table here in this wiki of like a number of like all rules. I expect to take that long just to download ScoutSuite and install it. I apologise. Right, so Scouts. Providers. Let's give that a go. Azure. Rules. Rule sets. Here we go. Oh, that's interesting. So CIS. The CIS benchmark is the like the default, like the Extensive Internet Security produced like a benchmark for Azure. So it looks like there's like a rule set that sets that. So I must be. Can't wait to get this thing installed and see how it actually works on the command line. Looks like I can maybe do like select which one of these I want to run. So let's just look at like default. This rule set consists of numerous rules that are considered standard by NCC group. The rules enabled range from violations of known security practices to lesser known security implications of provider-specific mechanisms. Alright, cool. Get that. So we've got AAD guest users.json. App service authentication disabled, kind of makes sense. Client certificates disabled. Alright, so we can start seeing in here, and it tells you like whether they're enabled. So I guess here, like, you can turn them off and on and set the level. Whether you do this or that's done centrally, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, that's cool. Network watcher not provisioned. There's one I'm interested in, storage. I was looking at the other day, just around public blob containers. There you go, public blob containers JSON, right? So it will tell me if I've got public blob containers. This is something that I definitely want to think that we're probably going to trigger as well, given that I've got static sites that are supposed to be public, right? And that's another thing, like, can we add exceptions to these rules? Like, if I've got blob containers that are like, can I agree, do I keep getting the same error all the time? These are the questions I want to know by deploying this service and just running this app that my computer doesn't want me to be able to run it, right? It's probably a bit late to install these builds now. That's not a command, is it? Yeah, this is just like to setup.py, right? If I'm right, is the file that is given when you package up these files. So it's going to actually go and install all these things one by one. I remember I packaged up a Python thing before, and setup.py is sounding very familiar. Yeah, I've already got the build essential stuff installed. Interesting. It's just taking over. Oh, I've got an idea. I said right at the beginning, right, we can put Visual Studio in the browser. Why don't I just try and do it in the browser rather than worry about my machine using them? Yeah, these invalid is the main area in a B list wheel. Let me just sign into that. Also not sure if this actually matters because it's now doing some build down here, right? Or install at least. We just that. Seems to be stuck on this gRPC thing. Will we ever get ScoutSuite to run? Gone from reviewing a security tool to just playing on with Alex Windows machine. Yeah, expect that command to be like, I don't know, with Python or something. VM. Like, you know. Well, do you know what though I'm doing here, right? What a donut. I'm not in the VM here, right? Yeah, this is the fun I have with Python. It is bloody odd. Whenever I'm dealing with potentially command not found, it's not like called bdis will, is it? Like, there's a different thing that it's trying to use. See if we can find any library or anything with that then. Alright. Yeah, not found, right? Doesn't exist. 404. Haven't moved from 2.7. Is that going to go like, isn't that like end of life soon or something? Are they stopping support for that? I don't know why this is playing out. It's stuck on this gRPCIO thing. This is where I'd normally go and make a cup of tea. Yeah, like this is what this is saying here. Right? It's only support when we were looking at it, puts 3.5 upwards. The whole thing having to use like the terminology Python 3 and pip 3 and all that kind of stuff just blows my mind. I can't work out why that's like that. I'm not sure why. Getting stuck in this like this cycle of trying to get into the video code line and it keeps sending. So started using, I was starting developing. It was Ruby back in about late 2012, something like that. Let's try this again. Sorry, just bear with me while I log into this. If I can get out of this weird loop that I'm getting that keeps not logging in. Cheers, man. Thanks for the help on the chat. Really cool. I'll catch you later. What is going on? Why is it taking so long? Imagine this being my Just trying to stream with this, right? So let's just do source. I mean, like, if in doubt, do it again, right? Just need to verify my identity, mods 2FA. Oh, this is the bit that took quick last time though, right? So we can do stuff here. Oh, this is interesting. So this is a bit more complicated. Network security groups rule inbound service.json. Oh, so you can have like arguments. Oh, nice. Alright, so we get that rule. That's the rule sets are, right? So we found that. What else have we got here? Resources. Alright, so here here we go. So these are the resources. We've got Extract directory. So it doesn't have Cosmos DB, right? So what do we have? Storage accounts and Cosmos DB in this subscription I'm working on. So we can just there's a blob containers.py. Let's see what it does. Because I was talking about that check to check public blob containers, right? Alright, cool. So that makes sense. Alright, nice. So this is where our code is, right? Let's go back and just look back to our wiki and see what it allows us to do. Should have done before. I should have this installed before. Oh well, we live and learn. We live and learn. Oh, now we're getting the errors again. Alright, so this is doing that Einstein thing, alright? Do the same thing twice, expect it, absolutely different results. Yeah, this sucks. Trying to launch I normally don't have any problems with this. I wonder if it's my browser or something that's playing up.
Pray that it decides to be in this time. Man, that is weird. It's a browser thing or something. This is what I need to run a browser to you, right? You can't install stuff on Cloud Shell, otherwise I could have launched up a Cloud Shell and done this, right? Yeah, that would be nice if I could just log onto a Cloud Shell and do it, right? Let's try and think. Oh, Insiders is now opened. Be prepared to lose some frames or something. I'm trying to see this dashboard. It should take like 5 minutes, right? We should just run this command and then check out the HTML report and magic. Oh, it looks so easy. So many different security. That's probably what I've got as well. Apparently it's opening remote. This isn't the one that I want though. This is the wrong remote environment. We've gone black. It's all black.
There's something about you. They used to call me unaware, and I'm holding on to
Here we go.
the final breath of air. I used to hang our pictures up by the bed where you used to lie. With all those words, you chose to say goodbye.
We need to connect to my Azure account, which is my login down here for me to be able to log in, right? Should just be connecting. This normally takes like a second. My computer is completely dead right now. Here we go.
playing that same song about the hope you lost back in the suburbs. When you felt the times they fast, you surround yourself inside.
Here we go, we came to Python. Back to where we were an hour ago. Oh, you can only smile, can't you, or you would cry. Let's see what happens here. So this is actually launching up an environment in Azure, so it takes a little while just to spin up the container and stuff, get me connected in. It goes idle after 30 minutes of usage. You can set it up like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, so it's just so you don't get charged for the VM or the container or whatever you're running on if you're not using it and you're idle, right? So it's quite nice. Something's reloaded. Alright, so we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that the terminal loads in the remote environment here. We're just opening up that remote environment. We've launched it. We're now opening it up. Things should run quick here because obviously everything's running up in Azure and running on my local machine, which is also trying to stream this live stream. So we shall see. Getting my connection info, setting up the connection. Just want a terminal. Come on. Oh, the pop-up's gone. My code is there. Let's see if anything exciting happens. That's still hung over here on the same thing. I'll have to check out that Ubuntu setup that I've got. It's going to reconnect me. This has got to be a bandwidth thing. Probably got the whole family streaming Netflix in separate rooms or something. So it looks like we're connected. Just some Python that I had the other day. We're activating extensions, starting the terminal. Exciting. We've got a back terminal. Oh, hold on. Come to our live stream and see exactly how you can stream for an hour and get nothing done except for try and connect to the internet. Oh, I love it. Look, I was so close, look, and it just died and it's just reconnecting. Lord help me. Really, my command ran when I was running Who Am I? Just to see if I could get a command to work. Give me about a 20-second delay. Always good to code with a 20-second delay on your terminal, isn't it? What have we got here? We've got alright, cool. The terminal's read-only, that's fine. Open a new terminal. Oh, here we go. Why is this now all of a sudden working like amazingly? So let's do make directory scout. CD to scout. Alright. Now we want to deactivate this environment. And we want to do Python -m VM. I'm going to source start there. Right, let's install ScoutSuite there, see what happens. Is anyone getting deja vu? This is running in Azure, so it should be a lot quicker than my local machine, which is currently dying. Still failing to build all those wheels on here as well. That's strange. It's doing some other stuff though. That seems to be a bit quicker than it was on my machine. I'm going to kill these now. Right, let's see if we can replicate the error here, or whether it's just like a thing that was happening on my machine. Oh, right, we've got an error. Hold on. You're on your bench of an apt install Python dev. Python. Not sure what Python is. Yes. Alright, so we need to install some Python development stuff. That makes sense. And then we're going to do a pip install ScoutSuite again. Should all be nice and cache. We just did all this. Alright. Failed all that stuff, we know that. Something's broke. No. I did this, didn't I? See if we get anywhere with this. No, we're getting some kind of error. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's what the problem is. If in doubt, Bing it with Google, right? Something to do with Python 2, this answer by the looks of things. Should regret that. Alright, so don't just love Python, you love it. So there's another way to do this. Alright, so the other way to do this is to, there was a, when we looked at the wiki, there was a GitHub way to install this. I should have done this a long time ago. Same thing, sort it, requirements of text, right? I mean, I'm guessing one of the requirements is going to be that thing that doesn't work, right? So this could have exactly the same problem. Yep. All right. All right, I'm gonna go and work out exactly what on earth is up with this and why I can't install this. I've obviously installed Python dev, so I should have python.h, but it doesn't like it doesn't seem to like it. So yeah, the short answer is I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go and work this out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and get ScoutSuite installed, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna use ScoutSuite against my account, and we'll have a much more informative, much more useful stream where I'm actually using it and it's already set up. So that is the plan. So tune back in when I do that, because that will be much more interesting than watching me fumble around with Python and my computer dying slowly when I'm trying to do this. So I'll catch you then. See you later.